Bine v-am găsit, sunt Oana Zamfir. În aceste zile de sărbătoare am pregătit materiale speciale la Digi24. Interviuri și povești excepționale. Astăzi, în exclusivitate pentru dumneavoastră, stăm de vorbă cu o parte din distribuția serialului-fenomen The Crown. The Crown înseamnă 6 sezoane de succes, ultimul lansat chiar luna aceasta. Producția a câștigat 7 globuri de aur, iar în 2021 a fost primul serial dramă care a câștigat toate categoriile importante la premiile Emmy. Filmările au început în urmă cu 10 ani, s-au desfășurat în peste 2000 de locații din 7 țări și 5 actrițe diferite au dat viață personajului Reginei Elisabeta din copilărie până la bătrânețe. Astăzi o aducem în fața dumneavoastră pe Imelda Staunton, actrița care joacă rolul reginei într-o perioadă foarte dificilă și controversată pentru familia regală britanică, cea care include divorțul dintre Charles și Diana și moartea prințesei de Wales. Imelda Staunton ne-a povestit ce a însemnat pentru ea să joace acest rol greu timp de 4 ani, dar și cum a trăit momentul morții reginei, anunț care a venit chiar în timpul filmărilor la The Crown. Tot astăzi, în exclusivitate pentru Digi24, am stat de vorbă cu Jonathan Pryce, actor nominalizat la Oscar pentru rolul din Cei doi papi, care în The Crown îi dă viață prințului consort Philip la bătrânețe. Alături de el a fost și Dominic West, cel care joacă rolul prințului Charles. Acesta ne-a mărturisit că a venit pe urmele adevăratului Charles în Transilvania. Ce impresie i-a făcut România, aflați în minutele următoare. Nu în ultimul rând, îi veți cunoaște astăzi pe cei 3 actori care joacă rolurile prinților William și Harry și rolul lui Kate Middleton în ultima parte a sezonului 6. Ed McVeigh, Meg Bellamy și Luther Ford seamănă izbitor de tare cu altețele lor regale și spun că a fost suprarealist să joace într-o producție uriașă cum este The Crown. Mărturisesc că a fost o bucurie să-i întâlnesc pe cei care joacă rolul membrilor uneia dintre cele mai celebre familii de pe planetă, familia regală britanică. Iar bucuria este acum dublă, pentru că pot împărtăși această experiență cu dumneavoastră. Vizionare plăcută!
Miss Staunton, greetings from Romania.
Hello there, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. It is a real privilege for me, and I'm really happy to chat with you today for a couple of minutes. Thank you very much. I'm a huge fan of The Crown.
Okay, goody.
So, let me begin by asking, how often do people greet you with Your Majesty these days?
Not often enough. No, not that much, not that much.
The Crown doesn't ask existential questions of itself.
Perhaps it should.
You are the 4th actress to play Queen Elizabeth in The Crown. How was this experience for you?
It was such a privilege to be part of this whole franchise, if you like, and of this experiment, which is a piece of drama that's talking about, you know, an institution, a family, but played with 3 different ages of actors. And then to be the final one was, as I said, a great honour. And it's odd. I mean, we finished filming maybe 6 months ago now, and you know, we all knew it was going to come to an end. And I suppose I've been doing it in my head. You know, I knew I was doing it in 2019, so it was a long time, and so it was a bittersweet moment when we actually finished.
Having reviewed the data, the pollsters have now presented their findings.
Asked if the royal family were out of touch with ordinary people,
53% said yes.
asked if they were wasteful of public money,
They lacked compassion, 62% said yes.
69% said yes.
You also said in an interview that you were filming when Her Majesty died. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
Yes, well, we were... Leslie Manville, who plays Princess Margaret, and I were filming, and in the afternoon we heard that we might hear some sad news, and but they said, do you want to stop filming or we can carry on? And I said, we'll carry on. And then she died in the evening, and that was so shocking and sad, and you know, our whole centre sort of shifted, and I then, in the schedule, had 10 days off, which was I was very grateful for that. And then I started filming again the day after her funeral, and I think it was very difficult for, you know, the other support. There were some supporting artists as well as the cast seeing me as her. I think it was more difficult for them than it was for me, because I knew I had to do it, and I'd sort of girded my loins, as they say. But it was a strange time, no doubt about it.
If you were to talk to Queen Elizabeth right now, what would you say to her?
Well, I think like everyone, I would just say thank you.
Miss Staunton, what have you learned after this experience, after playing Queen Elizabeth?
Well, do you mean what did I learn about her, or what?
About her, about the royal family?
Well, I feel you're born into that family. People say, you know, they're living in palaces and castles, and you know, they live the high life, and of course that you're born into something. You're sort of trapped. And she had no choice. They have no choice, and she certainly didn't have a choice, because she took her responsibility very seriously, and I think she just took on the mantle of being the Queen so seriously and so completely, that people just will not do that again. I mean, I think, you know, William has a huge sense of responsibility, as does Charles, of course, but I think the Queen set the bar so high, of course, as did Queen Victoria. But these women take on their roles, you know, so seriously, whether that's to do with women being mothers, but women they're asked to do a job, they do it. And I think I've learned that being in a family that can't get out of their situation. Now, some people could go, I can't stand this, I've got to get out, and some people have done that. But I've learnt that someone who has to change with the moving times, but has to stay constant and has to stay, to be seen, to be just there for her country every single day, I think my estimation just went up tenfold.
The Prime Minister has a new nickname, King Tony.
As I said before, I'm a big fan of The Crown, and I have to ask you, Miss Staunton, have you ever binged The Crown?
No. No.
No.
No, binged, did you say?
How come?
Did you say binge?
Yeah, watch episode after episode.
No, I might have
watched.
I've probably done 2 in a row, but no more, because I want it, you know, I want it to be like a very good meal, not fast food.
Okay. Do you have a message for the Romanian audience?
Hello, and I hope you enjoy it, and it's been a privilege to make it, and I hope you feel that we've done her justice.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's Imelda Staunton, and a Merry Christmas to you.
And to you. Thank you very much.
This is what we expect to be the longest serving monarch in history. People will want to celebrate your reign and mark the end of an era.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Greetings from Romania. So let me begin. A question for you both, Dominic and Jonathan Pryce. Do you have a particularly favorite moment or scene that you filmed in The Crown? One that you really enjoyed and cherished?
Might seem a bit boring, but I enjoyed every moment and every scene of it. You'll see in the final episode this season where we filmed inside York Minster, an enormous cathedral building, and it was, I think it was where we filmed your wedding. Yeah. Yeah, which was, that building was very special, and it was a great way to end the series. Yeah, I just enjoyed most of it. I enjoyed when I was a child, and there was the coronation happened in 1953. One of the things I had as a gift was a replica of the gold coronation coach that was towed by white horses. And it was great to ride in a life-size replica of the royal coronation coach, which I did in the series of the Queen. Never thought that would happen to me.
The best scenes were when we were all together, I think, and we all got to wear sort of fancy clothes and speak in these funny voices. And it felt like being, Jonathan said earlier, it felt like being in a theatre company, and that's something I think we both love. And that day in York Minster, which is an amazing building, and it was at the end of the series, the final series, and so they put a lot of money towards it. There was an orchestra, a choir, and 30 ornamental cherry trees, and 400 extras bowing to me.
Jonathan Pryce, we've admired you in the great Game of Thrones, in The Two Popes. I personally loved you in The Wife with Glenn Close. How was the whole experience for you playing this character, Prince Philip, in The Crown?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great. Part of the pleasure was working with Imelda, who played the Queen. I'd known her for 35 years or so. We're friends. Very little had to be said between us about our relationship as a married couple. We've both been long relationships. But it was just very special to be, as Dominic says, with that group of actors. Anytime we were all together, it was, and you were supported by a wonderful production team, costume, sets, makeup. That was just a very fulfilling experience. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Dominic West, I've watched that Jimmy Kimmel interview.
Oh dear.
He called you too handsome to be Prince Charles.
Oh right, that was nice of him.
Oh, okay.
He said the same to me as Prince Philip as well.
You're playing Prince Charles at his lowest point in his life. How was this experience for you?
Well, it was amazing because it's so, the emotions are so strong, and what's going on in his life is so tumultuous that I wasn't giving away Hong Kong or driving around in a car, which I was last season, and so it's great to play those high emotions. It sort of has the feeling of epic theatre in a way, and also it has a feeling of universality, so you're less sort of thinking about, how do you do this as a royal? Actually, you're not. Actually, I was totally thinking about that. I was thinking, how do these famously quite austere public personas, how do they cry? And Peter had made the decision to make Charles very emotional around Diana's death. We don't know whether he was or not, but Peter had written that he was very emotional, that he howled twice in the Scottish Hills and in the Paris hospital, and that he was, he bawling, no, and all that. And I thought, oh God, I can't imagine him doing that. I can't imagine the real Charles being like that. So it was a really interesting challenge, and that's what you're looking for really in your work.
I'm afraid we don't do fathers and sons very well in this family. Perhaps you don't like to be reminded how we got to this point.
A question for you both. Do you feel the Crown has helped humanize and, I don't know, somehow repopularize the UK royalty? Because we're talking about times when there are voices calling for the abolishment of the monarchy.
I think it has popularized it. It's added to their legacy. I mean, on the whole, the family is shown in a very good light, and it's interesting that when the Queen died, the viewing figures for The Crown and previous series of The Crown shot up. Everybody started watching it again. It's a very good representation of the family. And of course, it increases the fascination around the world with the royal family that maybe there's not so much even in the UK anymore.
When you said in your question that that there are calls for the abolition of the crown, of the monarchy and everything. There's always been calls for the abolition of the monarchy, as long as they've been around. And I think, and there's always been people who make fun of them. They've always been lampooned in the popular press. They've always, this is part of how a country comes to terms with this anomaly in its constitution. You know, it's a weird idea to venerate a particular family for no real reason, particularly since we gave up thinking that was, you know, divinely appointed. So I think the crown is part of that long tradition, and really and it shows a sort of the health of the monarchy that people are talking about it. I think the big problem for the monarchy is when people are no longer talking about it and no longer interested and are indifferent.
Many thanks and greetings again from Romania. Dominic, you should know that the real King Charles actually loves Transylvania.
I know.
So you should come.
I have. I've been there twice. I've been there. I've been there twice.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've stayed in one of those houses in the Saxon near Sigishwar around there. It's a wonderful place. I love it. I've been.
Greetings and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas
very much.
to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, you look like Kristen Bell, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you really do.
What?
Yeah. Have you had that before?
You look like Kristen Bell. Kirsten Bell? Kristen Bell?
Kristen. I've been told that before.
Yeah,
great. Sorry.
Okay.
Big compliment.
Yeah. Big compliment.
Okay, you guys look great.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to meet you guys and to chat with you today. Ed.
Yes.
So you are playing this iconic character, Prince William. Tell me something about that experience. What was it like for you?
Yeah, it was incredible. It was everything. It was hard. It was exciting. It was draining. It was pretty much every emotion I think you can imagine.
Wow.
Meg, being Kate Middleton, what was it like for you?
Surreal and an honour. Those are going to be my words. Yeah, it was just amazing. Every stage, the auditions, rehearsals, filming, and the press.
Yeah.
All 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Okay. Luther, I know you haven't gone to drama school.
No.
And yeah, this is the first big role for you. Okay. What was it like for you to be the black sheep of the royal family?
Good question. It was yeah. What was it like to be black sheep? Good. I enjoyed it.
Good.
It felt, I suppose, you know, that was the easiest role within the context of the experience of being on the crown. That was like the easiest thing to kind of fit into. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'm just curious, did you read Prince Harry's book to do your research?
I listened to it.
Really?
I listened to it.
Why?
Why
did you listen to it? And
yeah,
not read
because
it?
he reads it.
Oh.
Yeah.
The voice.
So I
use it for the voice.
I did.
Oh wow. Okay, there you go. There you go. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I listened to it. I listened to it quite a lot.
I wouldn't even thought to do something like that. It's amazing.
Right.
Genuinely.
Well,
Okay, so
you don't have a book.
You inspired yourself from that book, I guess.
Maybe not inspired. I suppose used it as a tool to some extent, and yeah, it was definitely useful in terms of touching on certain events.
So guys, in the first part of the last season, we get to see, sadly, that moment of Princess Diana's death and funeral. And what about this last part of the last season, of the 6th season? What period is it about?
The years, I think, are what, 2000?
97 to 2005. Those are the years.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the university years and before that. Right?
So you start off obviously 97. Obviously Diana has just passed, and then you have the immediate grief of that with the boys and the family and sort of the lights going out. Essentially, that's how it felt. The lights going out on the royal family and the world. Really, it felt like. And then as time goes on, we go to university. Me and Kate meet, and the sort of ins and outs of that, and then the development of me and with Harry and William's relationship, and then how that develops and changes as time passes.
For the Romanian audience, Meg, please, I know you've recreated the catwalk scene.
Yes.
What is that about?
So every year St Andrews have a charity fashion show, and there's student designers that get involved and things like that to raise money for charity. And you know, it happened that when Kate was in her first year and she was part of it. I think you have to apply to be a model, and she did, and you know, got it. And yeah, so it's kind of the first time, I guess, that William sees her in a different light, and it kind of plants the seed for a relationship that's more than just friends.
Okay, guys, what was the best thing, the best part of being in The Crown? I mean, you've all played with an amazing cast. Ed?
Yes, yeah, the cast are definitely the best thing about it. Also the locations, and yeah, the people, locations, yes, it's just, yeah, it's great. It's just great.
Meg?
Like, I'm trying to think of just one thing.
Yeah, there's not
I
just
guess
one
quite
thing.
selfishly in a way, like the opportunity that it is.
Yeah.
And just from an acting perspective as well, to be on a show that I love so much, that is so beautiful, and to have every department on top of their game as a first job, like, I still can't really fathom how lucky I am. So that's pretty great. Yeah.
Big time.
Luther?
That was incredible.
How about you?
Maybe, I mean, I won't repeat what they've said, but
Please don't.
I agree. I guess also working with the directors, I think.
Yes, good.
Like, forming those relationships is very exciting because I have a lot of respect for them. So that was really nice, yeah.
3, 2, 1. Sir, thank you. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, DG24
and Romania. Hello.
Thank you.